Michael Lee of the Source Code Group, and today I'm going to talk about resolving rules for a branch. So rules in this context talk about protected branches and merge request approvals, coming down to status checks as well. So at the moment, what we have in our branches view is a whole bunch of branches, and we have a button that allows you to view all the branch rules. So it navigates you within to settings, and this allows you to see the branch rules that have been defined for the project. As you can see, there's some wildcard rules here, and with 2 matching branches. But if I wanted to know, what are the rules that apply to like feature branch 123 or branch ABC, we don't have that mechanism yet in settings. What we do have is that kind of resolved state of approvals within the merge request itself. So when you do create a merge request, you see the merge request widget, which resolves all the different approval rules and branch rules that we have to give you a list of approvers, both the groups and code owners. But we don't have that in settings, and that's what I want to explore today. So let's say we were able to click on protected for branch ABC. We could display the branch rules in a drawer. This is a concept that I explored a few months ago, taking the read-only view of what we have in branch rules right now and kind of resolving all the different branch rules that match into one list that you can consume as a user to understand, okay, have I set up these branch rules correctly? Is the intended result what I want to see? This is viewed in the context of branches. I want to expand this further to think about both accessing this from branches and as well as the settings pages. So let's jump into what that might look like. Once again, we're here in the branches with the badge. This is one approach where we click on the badge and that navigates. Whether we introduce a button to do that over here, that's another possible thing too. So if I clicked on branch 123, rather than opening within a drawer, we could open it on a separate page. Now, this creates a separate landing page for the URL, and we can reference this. If we're sharing it within Teams, we can say, hey, check out the resolve rules for this branch, and it would navigate to this special page. Here I can see that target branch 123 has 3 matching branch rules. From here I can edit them, but this is still not really helpful for me as someone trying to understand what the end result is of these branch rules. I would have to dig through each of these ones, take a look at the approvers here, and in this scenario, would we have a list of 3 different approvers, or are they the same approvers? So it's not 100% there, but this would be a good iteration to list all the matching branch rules. The next step would actually be to be looking at what do these different branch rules resolve to. One example of how this might work is if I click on this and it opens up the different rules that have been approved. So if I'm looking at this screen now, I'm looking at my branch rules, I'm looking at the resolve rules, I'm like, this looks right or not right, and then I can click edit and then navigate to that branch rules, edit it, and come back and check these resolve rules again. Expanding on the resolve rules presentation itself, we could start looking at displaying the read-only view of branch rules. So in this scenario here, this is an exploration I did where I convert a lot of the branch rules UI that we have right now into GL card, which is an initiative that's being pushed in settings to kind of standardize that. So this is what it might look like. We have our branch protections, required changes to be submitted with merge requests, who's allowed to merge, and those who are allowed to push and merge, in merge request approvals. This one is a very an elaborate example of a future-looking example of how merge request approvals could look like. At the moment, I see that we would only have coverage check front end, back end, but thinking about inherited approval rules, we could see whether rules have been inherited from different groups, or whether it could be something that would be injected from a security policy. If there was a scan to be run, it could show up here. The wording and concepts here is to be refined, but the idea here is that we would resolve all approval rules and give you kind of a overview of the different approvals that could happen. And one of those that exists in the world of source code is code owners. So within this merge request approvals view, if you click on that, you see the code owner approvals, and like, okay, cool. These are the checks that are going to happen at the project level. And then if I have any issues with that, I can click on the for matching branch rules, and that would allow me this view, which would allow me a way to navigate to those branch rules to make those specific edits. Like I said, that is coming from the branches view, so clicking on the badge. But if we look at our branch rules within settings, I think this is an area where we could leverage this to list our branch rules, but at the same time have a way to view the rules for a branch. This would be really useful to verify and check to see, did I set up my branch rules correctly? And that's what we're looking at when we're talking about resolving branch rules. So I would click on this. It would take me to that page that we were just talking about, wherever that may live, at like branch resolving page. I would select a branch, and then there I would see all the different rules here. This allows people to open this in a separate tab, allows them to view the branch rules and resolve this at the same time in two separate tabs. It could improve the workflow. It's something that we could explore further in the solution validation, but I think this is a possible path forward to looking at how we handle resolving branch rules for a specific branch. Thank you.